welcome to your favorite scary movies. Today we're diving into Abraham's Boys, the 2025 horror film inspired by the classic lore of Abraham Van Helsing. But this time, told from the perspective of his two sons, I'm giving this film 3 out of 5 stars. And here's why. Let's start with the overall tone, because Abraham's Boys nails atmosphere. This is not a loud, chaotic, jump-scare-filled film. It's quiet, almost too quiet. There's this unsettling sense of dread baked into the walls of the house these boys grow up in. Every room feels cold, every hallway feels haunted, not by ghosts, but by trauma, fear, and secrets no one wants to say out loud. And that's where the film really shines. Abraham's Boys is not just a horror movie. It's a family drama wrapped in a supernatural mystery, and the horror sneaks in slowly, layer by layer. The movie follows two brothers living under the strict paranoid rule of their father, Abraham Van Helsing, long after his famous battle with the vampires. But here's the twist. Instead of being a celebrated hero, he's become this reclusive, traumatized, broken man who's raising his children in fear. Let's talk about the story stuck to us, because it's actually a very refreshing take on vampire horror. We've seen Dracula adaptations over and over again, but Abraham's Boys focuses on the aftermath. What happens after the monster is gone? What happens to the man who spent his life fighting evil? What happens to a family living under a legacy soaked in blood? The movie builds the mystery slowly, showing us little breadcrumbs of truth, strange scars, old weapons hidden in the house, books on creatures the boys were never supposed to read, and a father who refuses to explain why he's terrified of the night. As the boys dig deeper, the movie shifts from psychological tension to supernatural horror, and that transition is handled very well. One of the biggest strengths of Abraham's Boys is the cinematography. This film looks gorgeous. Every shot feels like an old Gothic painting, muted colors, candlelit scenes, fog drifting through the woods, old houses that creak like they have memories. It gives the movie that classic vampire myth energy, without actually showing vampires for a long time. The camera lingers on faces, objects, shadows. It builds your imagination before it builds the fear. And honestly, that's something a lot of modern horror forgets. Not every scare needs to be shown up close. Sometimes the fear of the unknown is way stronger. Performance-wise, everyone delivers. The actors playing the two brothers have great chemistry. They feel like real siblings, fighting, bonding, arguing, protecting each other. And their father? His performance is layered. He's terrifying sometimes, but not in a villain way. More like a man who's seen too much, who's carrying a burden his children don't understand. You can feel the trauma in his silence. You can feel the history in his anger. You can feel the fear in his paranoia. The film does a great job of making you question him. Is he insane? Is he right? Is he both? That mystery stays with you. Even though I'm giving Abraham's Boys 3 stars, I want to be clear. This is a good movie. It's well made, it's thoughtful, and it's refreshing compared to some of the louder, messier horror we get today. The reason it's not higher for me is the pacing. There are stretches where the film slows way down, and while it's intentional, it also risks losing viewers who aren't into the slow burn style. But if you love atmospheric horror, Gothic visuals, mystery-driven storytelling, vampire lore with emotional depth, then this movie is absolutely worth watching. So overall, Abraham's Boys 2025 is a well-crafted, thoughtful horror film with a unique angle on the vampire world. It's slow, yes, but the story, the visuals, and the emotional weight make it stand out, and the final act pulls everything together beautifully. I give it 3 out of 5 stars because even though it drags at times, it's still a memorable, artistic take on classic horror history. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the film. Hit that like button and subscribe for more weekly horror movie talk. I'm the Dark Passenger. See you next time.